Around the coast of Britain are cities where lives are shaped by the sea.
Yeah, lovely job.
Each city is a gateway to the wider world. And around each city, thousands of people work in jobs that touch all of our lives. Whether it's shipping cars...
Just short of £29 million worth within a day.
...or importing fruit.
What I love about bananas is they don't answer back.
Jobs that keep the nation afloat.
This is the tricky bit. This is where the skill comes in.
Where every day brings fresh challenges. These are cities that welcome the Navy, both serving sailors and new recruits. From clocking on in the morning...
See me flying a kite, mate. I'm brilliant.
...to relaxing after work.
It's all part of the warm-up.
Around the shores and rivers of people's hometowns, water is a way of life. In the northeast of England, Newcastle and the River Tyne mix a modern port with timeless traditions.
Fire in Zone 9.
As the next generation learns the ropes, an older one battles for business.
We're keeping the faith against impossible odds.
And there's star spotting at the big race.
Hello, darling. You all right?
You look just like Sting.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Get away.
A dawn call for the port of Tyne's pilot boat. It's heading out to sea to meet a very special visitor.
It's the marina. It's a cruise liner. A load of happy holiday makers on board. Probably seen their first view of the entrance to the Tyne.
The River Tyne is narrow and tricky to navigate. The marina needs all the help she can get. And the pilots are here to guide her safely upstream.
You never lose the thrill. It's like steering a big block of flats through the piers. So it's always very interesting.
He'll have to jump ship in the middle of the sea, but he's got boatman Paul Ridley to help.
It would be a real risk if it did slip overboard or anything, so we've got to make sure that never happens. All right? Okay, thank you. Another one safely on board. If any of the passengers are up, they'll be seeing all my favourite bits now. You've got, as you come in, you've got the Priory, and then the old watchtower, and then Collingwood's monument. I think it's quite a nice entrance for them when you first come in. I've always had boats since I was a little kid, so getting right around on £1 million one and get paid for it's not a bad thing.
A ship full of well-heeled American visitors shows how things are changing around here. New industries are emerging, while old ones are dying. Can the River Tyne thrive, but still keep its links with the past? Near the mouth of the Tyne, another boat's on the river at crack of dawn. This little ferry potters between North Shields and South Shields.
It's been a ferry service since 1377.
Chris McGuinness is skipper.
I've worked here for 25 years of that time, and Davey on his break, the tiredest man on the ferry, he's been here about 6 years. There's Davey there, look, the tightest man in the world. Davey's now coming on to drive the vessel, steer the vessel, con the vessel, whatever you want to call it. What do you call it, Davey, when you're driving the boat?
Driving it.
Driving the boat, that's what I do as well. See, he's got shaving foam in his lugs, look. Hey, tired man. This is our lovely Astrid, one of our favourite passengers down here. She always likes to give me a little kiss. Hello there. Lovely. We allow Astrid in the wheelhouse because she's our favourite passenger.
Because I look after them with teas and coffees and cakes and biscuits and bacon sandwiches.
And she's a big Sunderland fan, aren't you, Astrid?
I love
Massive Sunderland fan.
Sunderland football.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So if we go down, Astrid, will you start supporting Newcastle?
Absolutely not. Never. As long as I draw breath, I will never support Newcastle.
There aren't enough passengers. It's losing money. But the Shields Ferry is an institution, like Chris McGuinness. He's got more than a passing resemblance to the Geordie singer, Sting.
But I've done daft little things like opening supermarkets where, you know, would Sting really open a supermarket, you know? I pronounce the supermarket open. Don't stand so close to me.
He doesn't have model himself on him, doesn't he?
He hired this vessel, and he was just a regular guy, like, you know, just a nice, normal guy. Anyhow, just before he left, he says, you look just like my brother. And I goes, no. I says, I look just like you. I says, I've made a living out of it.
Upriver, the Marina's reached her berth. Passenger numbers here are climbing, and that's good news for the Tyne as it battles to win business from other UK ports.
Good morning, everyone. Groups 1, 2, and 3 ready for you there. You may want to use the jacket, a little risky this morning, yeah?
These cruise passengers, combined with the Tyne's North Sea ferry traffic, bring around £55 million into the northeast every year.
Today they're going to see the Hadrian Wall, the latest Roman remains. And then, let me take a look. Oh, quite a lot going to see the Harry Potter Alnwick Castle.
Annick.
Alnwick, that's the way you pronounce it, yeah, Alnwick. Remember, I'm only from Barcelona. Last Hadrian Wall coach is gone, number 7 is gone, over. All right, that was easy. 8:35, everybody on the road.
A little further towards Newcastle, one sign that traditional industries are having a hard time. Offshore Group Newcastle, OGN, one of only 4 yards in Britain big enough to make oil rigs. Plater Stephen Goikachea is hard at work.
Been a plater since 1976. Served my time Swan Hunter shipyard. So what's that? Nearly 40 years now.
These are giant modules for a gas plant in Norway. 5-storey structures, each the size of a small hotel. Soon they have to be loaded onto a barge and sailed off to sea. The race is on to finish them.
Putting the handrails on just as a barrier so no one can step off, fall off.
Tyneside was a world centre of shipbuilding. Huge ship hulls would have been lined up in OGN sheds, but almost all the shipyards have closed. The most famous was Swan Hunter.
This is Swan Hunters in Wallsend being demolished, and that the fabrication shed there where the Mauritania was built. That's it, up and running in India. It was an outrage at the time because when there's slumps in engineering, other countries use it to modernise, update machinery and train. Here, we just look for somewhere we can level and build houses on it.
At OGN, Terry Telford's union office is part museum, part library.
British Trade Unionism, Das Kapital by Karl Marx. And a thing that many shop stewards have had recourse to over the years, the Bible itself. Sometimes it's all you've got.
It is an anxious time. OGN is Tyneside's last major fabrication yard. And this could be its last contract.
A lot of lads realise that's come to the end of the job. You lose friends, you know. You might never see some of the lads again, you know.
Tyneside shipyards may have disappeared, but the land they stood on is busy again. It's perfect to store cars. Nissan runs the UK's largest plant in nearby Sunderland. And appearing on the horizon, the world's largest car transporter. They call this a mothership. The Hogue Target's brand new and has come from Japan. It'll take Nissans from Port of Tyne around the world.
We're loading 900 for Amsterdam. We're loading 4 cars for Maputo, Mozambique. It is very much a jigsaw puzzle, and the poor captain from Norway was in overall control of the vessel. He must be very good at jigsaws.
Port of Tyne exports 600,000 cars a year. The majority of them are for Nissan.
Because we're loading Australian cars, it's quite easy for them because they drive right-hand drive all the time. They're supposed to be anyway. These ones are going to Brisbane.
Leadsman Lenny Palmer is the man who makes sure every vehicle ends up where it's supposed to be.
The car's 10 centimetres, right, from side to side. The women drivers tend to be the best actually, because they listen to what the lads are telling them, and then like you get like your young boy racer who thinks he can do everything. To have somebody, a strange person, coming reversing back at you with a car, yeah, it can be nerve-wracking.
The Target can carry 8,500 cars, with deck space the size of 10 football pitches. Every car is precious cargo.
Each one varies between about 15 and 22,000 pounds, something like that. So we're putting 1,400 of 15, 20,000 pounds worth on, so quite a lot. Short of 29 million pounds worth with the load that we're doing today. A lot of money.
If they're trusting with a handle 28 million pounds worth of cars, it's got to be classed as a skill job.
With the Brisbane cars on board, Lenny's getting impatient.
This is not showing a very good side of it, is it? It's supposed to be like a mini production line.
Finding the right cars is the main problem. Out here, they're like needles in a haystack.
Obviously, if there's about 10,000 cars in the compound, and they're looking for 150, say, drags the shift out quite a bit.
Cars found, they're bound for Fremantle in Australia.
That's how the operation's supposed to work. You see how we've got 3 and 4 leadsmen there, and they're all going to put a car in all at the same time. I suppose that's where your job satisfaction is, seeing it operating like that, knowing that the cars are going to the other side of the world, and you've sent them there in one piece. We'll put 1,400 cars on, and not one car's being damaged. Happy man.
Newcastle city centre, on the quayside.
Tommy, what time are we kicking off?
11 o'clock.
7 teams, all from different marine schools and shipping companies, are preparing to do battle in a charity rowing race.
You've got to have a bit of competitiveness, and it's good, it's team bonding, that's what it's all about, that's what it's like on a ship.
They'll race 9 miles, from the city centre to the mouth of the Tyne.
You put it on, Peter. Have you put them all on? Good lad, thank you.
Tommy Proctor's organised the event, but he's more interested in winning it for the 3rd year in a row.
That may be 3rd time lucky for you this year, and then I get a fight not either.
Tommy's coxing the team from South Shields Marine School, the Naughty Boys. They're all students at the school.
Tommy really wants us to win. I think everyone's a bit nervous at the minute, but it should be good. Everyone's in good spirits. Got all 7 crews down here now, just waiting for the big kick-off.
One team's got them worried. They're noisy local rivals. South Tyneside College's General Engineering Department.
Big lumps, all of them, really good rowers. About 8 of them did it last year. And apart from that, I think it'll be just between us and them.
Guys, we've got the draw we wanted. They're going to catch you, but as long as we can keep with them, especially in the second team, you guys can do it. Just shout, go!
Tommy's the only person you can hear on the water.
Come on, 1. We've got a good start. 2, 3.
The Marine School pulls away, but by the first bend in the river, they've been reeled in by General Engineering.
Never mind them, concentrate on us. 1, 2, 3. 1. Put your backs in a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got about 2 cables to go to the changeover. 1, 2.
Tommy could have a problem. The crews change over in the middle of the river. For other teams, it's going like clockwork, but the speedboat carrying Tommy's new crew hasn't shown up.
The crews are just going to have to row a little bit further and then we'll get a crew swap.
3, 4. I don't want any of you injuring yourselves. You've got another leg to row.
The tired crew slipping further behind to 4th place out of 7.
Oh, come on, boys, we're not beat yet. Tyne, what's happened? Change over.
Finally, the relief crew arrives.
4, stand by to take your 4 oars in. 1, 2, take your oars in. 1 out, 1 in. 2 out, 2 in. 3 out, 3 in. 4, come on. Come on, Andrew. That's all done. 4 down. Stand by your oars. All together. Row. 1, 2. We can't win it, but we can get second. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Dig deep, boys. 1, 2, 3.
At South Shields, an expectant crowd watches on.
You can't hear Tommy, so I guess General Engineering.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Tommy's going to be absolutely gutted.
Yeah.
Amazing.
General Engineering has won by more than half a mile. Tommy's team is in a sprint for 3rd.
2, 3, 4. Come on, you're nearly there. You've got them. You've got them. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Can you smell the barbecue? 4. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Come on, boys. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, you've done it. Well done. Well done. Magnificent.
A 3rd place finish. Rubbing salt in the wounds, Tommy's having to present the winner's trophy to his rivals.
It's took them 3 years to do it. But by God, when they did it in style. Well done. This year's champion. Of course you're disappointed. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. We'll be back next year. Hopefully.
Ships need crews, and there's a global shortage of officers. South Shields Marine School is the oldest in the world, training the seafarers of the future.
So the first half is all about calculations, stability, and then the second part is operations.
Ryan Bird from Derby and Chris Falconer from Suffolk are in the last year of their course. They want to become deck officers, and Chris is not your typical student.
Turned up wearing chino shorts, yacht club polo top, stuff like that, and they were a bit like, right, he's a bit posh.
When he first started at college, yeah, he got a lot of stick. He did carry around a briefcase instead of a normal school bag.
I just thought if you're dressed in uniform, you might as well look official, professional. So that was it. Briefcase, uniform, every single day. But I got the nickname Boris rather quickly after Boris Johnson.
Ryan and Chris are training to work on a ship's bridge. They're being sponsored through college by shipping companies. They get a small wage now. If they qualify this summer, it'll become a big one.
When I was at school, when we did careers and we did work experience, this wasn't even considered, it wasn't even mentioned. You do higher education for free, but obviously it's a massive thing nowadays because universities are charging a fortune.
Where else do you get paid to travel the world? And you sit at school, while you're doing your GCSEs, grafting away, not going to any parties, and you think, actually, yeah, I'd love to go and do that. 130 degrees.
130 degrees.
To become deck officers, the boys are about to go through exams. But first, a tough simulator assessment.
130, yeah.
An 18-year-old and a 20-year-old in charge of a huge cargo ship.
Starboard jet.
Yeah.
Next one.
130 again.
They don't know it, but they're about to face a drama at sea.
The exercise for the cadets is twofold. It's a navigation exercise, and the second part is anti-collision work.
It's going to cross my stern at 0.1 miles.
You've got a guy off to port.
Yeah, just coming on 6 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just come back on radar now.
No problems.
This is the people on our bridge at the moment, and you can see that in just a little under 12 minutes' time, they're going to be in a very close quarter situation.
A boat that's not following the rules is heading straight for their ship.
So we really going to see how long they're before they take some kind of collision avoidance.
CPA on.
0 now. So if it doesn't alter
0.
soon, I'm going to have to alter starboard. 6.1 minute, yeah, we're going to have to take action.
Yeah, 5-shot blast.
They've sounded warning blasts on the horn.
Less than 6 minutes now, it hits 5, we're going to have to go.
Yeah, take a full turn.
Okay, full turn helmsman, okay.
And they're going to turn in a circle to let the other vessel pass.
Ferry looks clear.
Awesome. Fishing vessel also looks clear out the window at this right turn.
The danger has passed.
I'm, happy to come back to the original course.
But another emergency is looming.
I would give them a fire alarm in one of the fire zones.
Oh, we have a fire.
Fire?
Zone 10.
Bosun, we've got a reported fire alarm in Zone 10. Could you check and report back, please?
Yeah, Zone 10, okay, I'll check it out for you.
Bosun better get back to us soon.
The bosun's gone missing. The right thing to do is to assume he's injured and sound a full alarm. Will the boys cotton on?
Got a call back from the bosun?
No. Give it 2 more minutes and I'll call him.
Okay, sir, I've just heard shouting from the mesh room. There is an actual fire in Zone 10, and it is not the toaster which we sent the bosun to investigate. Full fire alarm, sir. Everyone on board, everyone on board. Fire in Zone 9 and Zone 10, muster stations.
It's surprising, even quite senior people can fall at the first hurdle. So these guys have done very well.
Another big step closer to qualifying.
Unfortunately, we lost a crew member, but that unfortunately happens. So this is more realistic to obviously what we do. And so that's what reminds me, actually, no, I need to finish my exams, knuckle down, I need to get back out there.
It's midsummer. The Mouth of the Tyne Music Festival is on all weekend. At the North Shields Fish Quay, the historic fishing port is one of the fringe venues.
I'm gonna have to brush. You better not be taking this because I'm looking like the mad woman of Borneo. But that's because I've been in since 6 o'clock.
Pearl Saddington runs the Old Lowlight, a new visitors centre, celebrating the port and the River Tyne.
Terry, do you want to do the stocks? We've got some stocks. Like stocks that you put your legs in and you throw sponges at people. It's the biggest day since we've opened, and we only opened in Easter, right? So we're concentrating on heritage skills. So outside there's all the The skills associated with the fish quay historically, so blacksmiths and fishermen making nets and all the woodwork.
The old lowlight's a charity with targets to meet, but Pearl is quite the entrepreneur.
If we don't, as a team, generate income, then we can't pay bills and we can't pay wages and we can't survive. What we have to do today, Jean, we're getting as much money as we can through the till, right? So just push everything, because I know you can. I've got to get £1,000 through the tills today.
Right.
And if I don't get £1,000 through the till, they put me in the stocks. You can have this, right, for £10 and then you become a member for the year.
Does it look as though I'm being threatened here?
Every penny they make today will help them preserve this area's history. The old lowlight was built in 1726. The light helped ships steer a safe path into the river. The building's been saved from dereliction as a reminder that the Tyne was always a bustling port.
North Shields Fish Quay. It's a fishing community, and it was actually the fish quay and fishing that actually were the origins of the town. So the river has had a massive, massive cultural influence in the northeast. Park your bus and then come round. Right.
A busload of tourists, just what they need.
And this is Maggie, another member of the crew, and she'll be taking money off you.
She's strong-arming me something terrible. You know, Pearl definitely press gangs people around here.
Getting people to spend part of their money. We are a charity, you know, donations, donations, donations.
But that's part of our charm. Tell her that, will you?
£2 each, come on.
Right, go on then.
Go on then. Thank you. You'll have a lovely time.
Right, I'm sure.
I know you will. Thanks very much. It's easy as that.
As with other parts of the river, here keeping tradition alive means fighting for every penny.
It's not like we've had £100 million from some quango to say, right, you know, let's regenerate the fish quay. People are wanting to do it themselves, hence the old lowlight.
But has the hard sell paid off?
How much have you made, Cheryl? What? Look at
336.
So that's 336. Follow us, follow me. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Nearly.
With the raffles and games, she's taken just over £1,000.
That's it. Sorted. I'm not going in the stocks.
Off to the lowlights and Maggie's we'll go.
From the old port to the new one on the south side of the river. The Tyne has one of the fastest growing ports in the UK. It imports millions of tons of coal and wood pellet. And a third of all tea drunk in Britain arrives here. A multi-million-pound business needs engineers to keep things running smoothly. Jordan Gibson is a new recruit.
I've always been hands-on since a kid. To be honest, I was a bit of a devil child. I used to take all my toys apart and my mum used to go crazy with us. I just wanted to see how they worked. It's one thing interested, seeing how things work and the principles behind why things work. I ended up with motorbikes. My mum didn't like that part either. My dad bought us a motorcycle for me, I think it was my 8th birthday, and from there it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. We're about to go up and check the brakes on the container crate prior to the ship coming in. Well, we're on the 6th flight of stairs, Steve.
So just before the ship comes in, we'll check that. We'll check the linings, we'll check the disc. We'll get a bit of rag.
Jordan's one of 18 apprentices at the port.
They're picked from the best of their generation. So we've never had a bad one. But I have a soft spot for Jordan, I think. To be honest, but don't tell him. I think I'm a bit more like his big brother. I'm far too young to be his father. But we've got a system whereby I ask him what to do when he tells us where to go. And it's always worked well for him.
My favourite toy to play with actually isn't in the port. It would be the swing bridge in Newcastle.
Jordan and the Port of Tyne's engineers look after Newcastle's quirkiest bridge. The swing bridge is 140 years old.
Sorry, William Armstrong. And William Armstrong actually built the superstructure and the hydraulic machinery, and he paid for it as well.
The point was to get ships to Armstrong's munitions factory. The middle section rotated so boats could pass either side.
It works on the principle of generating and storing water under pressure, and it uses the energy in that pressurised water to drive machinery, which then propels the bridge around.
It's old and temperamental.
Something's not right there. You can hear it. It's got a knock on it normally when it's running right. It's airlock, I think. Yeah, we're just having some problems with the pump at the minute. We can't get the accumulator to rise. So, see how he's a fault finder now, see where the problem is.
They can't build enough water pressure to drive the bridge.
There's definitely water coming out of there now.
Aye, and it's white, so it's been... There you go. Problem solved?
Every month, the engineers turn the bridge 180 degrees to check it still works. And today, it's Jordan's big moment.
It's the first time he's going to have swung it. He's built up a lot of knowledge over the years. He's been an apprentice. So now we're at the stage where he's going to do it with me standing back.
You got a radio? Yes. Give me a shout when it's all clear and we're ready to go. Just make sure you follow the right sequence to get the bridge to turn. For starters, that's the hard part. And after that, it's getting it parked. It's got no brakes, so it's just how good of a driver you are.
Very few manage to park the bridge first time. Getting it wrong would mean holding up busy city centre traffic.
Turn the water pressure on. From there, we need to get the bolts out. It's this one, yeah. So that is rams down, which then, when that finishes, you can then clear the blocks.
That's right. Two ends of the bridge are now floating on nothing. There's no wedges, there's no for it. Left turn, Clyde.
Left turn.
Go on, put some way.
And that's the bridge we're in.
Away we go.
But can Jordan park it?
You get the first time, I won't speak to you again, mate. You understand that, do
I do understand. It's
because the lads have taken the mickey out of us.
It's a challenge, that, isn't it? That's what that is, Steve. So just a slight bit like that.
Wait, just bring it home nice and gentle like that. Just let it slow down, Jordan, then see what happens. Let it come to a stop. Give it a mega quick one. As soon as you get, that's it. And again. Right, straight off, Jordan. Perfect. Lock it up.
That's the bridge swung and parked correctly. Surprisingly, we've done it. Now we've got to turn the water supply off.
Well done.
And that is it. Hopefully get these barriers up and get the traffic across. I know it's not an easy thing to do, but I'm quite proud of how it went. You can only blame your teacher, can't you?
But I parker than me, man.
There's trouble at OGN. The slump in oil prices is good news at the pumps. Not here. Oil companies are scaling back big projects. Less than a year ago, OGN's workforce was more than 2,000. Now, it's fewer than 400. The yard's plight has hit the headlines. Unhappy reading for Stephen Goikachea.
I don't really think it's telling anything that we don't know here anyway, you know, other than how much it costs to get it done in the Middle East, which we all know it's going to be cheaper.
Well, it's nice to have a bit action in the papers, isn't it?
I mean, this is the last main place on the river now for us, and if this closes, everybody will be working away.
Well, I'm 57 in December. I've got, my kids are grown up. I'm live by myself, I'm a widower. I've got no ties, you know, going away wouldn't bother us, but, you know, just don't want to. I want to see my granddad grow, you know.
We're Newcastle United supporters in here. We've got much experience in keeping the faith against impossible odds. We believe the company has a future. We just need a little bit of help. There's that many places gone on the River Tyne now. If Julius Caesar was to float back up in his galleon, he would recognise it as he left it. Green banks with a few sheep grazing.
When I first started here 25 years ago, and there were still shipyards over here, Smith's Dock, it was heaving, crammed, 150 people, like, you know. Almost every crossing, it was busy, hive of activity, you know.
The death of traditional industries has hit Shield's ferry passenger numbers. From her office on High, manager Carol Timlin is cracking the whip to try and get new customers.
I can keep an eye on things, and if, you know, I see a ferry looks like it's leaving a minute late, I'll be asking questions as to why that's happening.
First woman on the ferry since 1377. Aye, she's okay, yeah.
They said I spy on them with my binoculars all day, and they're nearly right.
Carol's having to bring in extra money for the ferry. Today, they've sold all the tickets for a river cruise, featuring a local singer.
We've got Carol Lee this afternoon and Mark. How many have we got on?
About 110.
I mean, I know it's a nice day, but if it's a sing-along, they like to be with her, don't they? Good.
Is it a bar?
Eh?
Bar.
Oh, aye, downstairs. You're going to have a couple, are you? Why not? Oh, I think you're getting your warnings there. I think you've had it. Thank you.
There's a story where he was on one of the river trips, and they were short of a stripper. So the rest of the lads convinced him to get in his undies and do it.
Aye. Luckily for me, I had my black thong on with the gold studs. I mustn't have known, eh? I wore a pair of sunglasses, actually black sunglasses, so they couldn't see the fear in my eyes, you know.
Sweetest fear.
Hiya, love. Hiya, nice to see you, Carol. How are you?
I'm really good. We've got quite a few on again.
Absolutely.
Honestly, all the time, yeah, bookings are just going up and up. So
oh, that's lovely.
That's right. I'll catch up with you
Thank
later.
you, Carol. I'll catch up with you. Thank you. I've got my glamorous outfit that was kindly donated by a very lovely lady at the charity shop. I'm going to go now and get changed, and you might see a big difference. Okay, thank you. I come from a very, very posh area called Scotswood, Newcastle. Oh yes, oh yes. Oh, diamonds are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can stimulate and tease me. I won't sleep in the night. I've no fears that they might desert me. Diamonds are forever. I've always done it. My mum discovered me when I was 3 years old. She said, Carol, she says, you were really good at it. And I just worked my way up into different places, you know. And I mean, look where I am on the ferry. I can't believe it. You know? I can see every part. Nothing lies in the heart to hurt me. I was called to go for the X Factor, so I thought, well, no, I'll give it a go, see what it's all about. And Cheryl looked at me, you know, and she said, Carol, you've sang that song very close to my heart. She says, you've done me proud and you've done the North East proud. I'll never forget her words. Amazing.
A successful trip, vital cash. But the biggest money spinner is yet to come. At the port, they're gearing up for the world's biggest half marathon, the Great North Run. This warehouse, temporarily, is a gym.
Right, so you can start off full press ups, you can start off however you want to actually do them, but you've got to hit 50. 50 is what your target is.
Paul Ridley, who works on Port of Tyne's pilot boat, has a big role on Great North Run Day.
The port sponsored the race, and it seemed a nice idea for a team from the port to raise some money for local charities. As the captain of the team, hopefully the idea will be to inspire people to come to the training. Any of them that haven't done it before, try and keep their spirits up and make sure they have a nice day and enjoy it. It's a really fun day. It's totally different than any other run that people will ever do. It's too hard.
What's that now? You know what it is?
About 200.
You're used to a lot of this sort of steady movement, so this is why this is so good for you, because it's short and sharp, which is going to improve your speed and your strength in them races.
The training I do, the shortest intervals I ever do are 400 metres, so it's completely different to this. But it certainly feels like it's done something good.
5 weeks and counting. It's exam time at South Shields Marine School. Cadets Chris Falconer and Ryan Bird have nearly finished theirs, but the most important exam of all, a face-to-face grilling, is yet to come.
Chris, have you got anywhere washing up in your room? In the last week, me and Chris went down and booked a Rural's. So someone's just sort of took 3 steps out the ladder, and now it's time to knuckle down.
What you need to do is you need to be confident with your answers, know exactly what you're going to do, what you're going to say and how you're going to do it, and then just go ahead with it.
And it's one guy that says, yes, you can go to sea, or no, you can't.
It is make or break at the end of the day.
The oral exam strikes fear into the heart of anyone who trains to navigate ships. Answering questions from a Maritime and Coast Guard Agency examiner is like the worst driving test you could ever imagine. The exam is so secret, only the candidates are allowed in.
Well, I've passed. I have the signature here saying that I've passed. Oh my God.
Next, Chris's turn.
I was hoping today to be able to walk out, pass, celebrate that it'd be me, completed everything, qualified officer, but that's not the case.
He stumbled on one section. He has to go through it all again tomorrow.
It is, yeah, just near enough a reset, so it's completely on the edge. Very nerve-wracking.
One last chance to revise and get it right. It's been a stressful 24 hours for Chris and his girlfriend, Sarah.
He didn't sleep at all. He just kept tossing and turning. He was panicking, I think, which is the worst thing he could do. How'd it go? You passed! Yeah. Oh, well done, baby.
All right. It was a good exam. Well, it is now. Now I've passed. That's it. Last thing done. Send this off. Get my certificate. Go to sea as an officer.
Before he does, the little matter of graduation day.
Hello, how are we? You look lovely. How you doing? Oh, look at this. We all brush up very well.
Hello, darling.
He's always dressed very smartly. Always yes. About it. At the age of 3, he had an official photograph. He's just having a tie. So from that to him in his gown, very proud of Mum. 3, 2, 1, go!
Offshore Group Newcastle, OGN, is threatened with closure. There's been manufacturing at this yard for more than 100 years, but the last big order is finished. Now, the gas modules need to be delivered. The problem? How can you get these giant structures onto a boat? The process is called the loadout.
I think it's the most exciting part of the job, but I certainly don't get nervous.
Okay, take it up to 90 bar all round, 90 bar all round.
The module must first be weighed. General Foreman Peter Duffy is in charge.
Vetus is the loadout coordinator, and he's going to be stood at the back here with his laptop, and he'll coordinate the weighing of the module.
To weigh the module, trailers lift the giant structure, then lower its feet onto 6 load cells. They're like scales.
Hold on, no, not yet. Leave that there, please. Are we okay to put that load cell on now, Vetus? Yeah, if it fits. 617.3.
617 tons. Now, they just need to move it. It's done with a joystick, like using a video game controller to move a tower block. That's the easy bit. Tomorrow, they'll have to load it onto a barge.
Safety points that we'll have to follow. Anybody that's going onto the barge has to have a T card. Yeah? If you're not involved in a specific part of the operation, do not get in there.
The barge needs to be level with the quayside before the module can be driven onto it. The team must now wait for the barge to rise with the incoming tide.
Oh, I need this tide to hurry up. 5 minutes. Have I got your guarantee on that?
Once the weight of the module goes onto the barge, it'll want to tilt like this. So at the other end of the barge, we'll draw water from the river via the pumps, and we'll take it into the ballast tanks, and that'll even the barge out.
Yeah, that'll do for Alpha Bravo. Just lift Charlie Delta a touch.
One false move, one miscalculation,
Go 2 degrees to your left, Pierce, 2 degrees.
and a year's work could end up in the River Tyne.
You've got to travel up the barge, which is slow going a lot of the time.
The module's safely aboard. Now it needs to be welded into place for the long sea journey to Norway. Lining it up takes great precision.
Got to be, as a rule, within a few millimetres, so just takes a good eye and get it in the right place, hopefully, every time. Do this one now.
It's the culmination of 12 months' work or 18 months' work. It's, you know, we're proud of what we've achieved in the last 12, 14 months here.
It's normally a time for celebration, but today there's sadness. For everyone on the project, including plater Stephen Goigechea.
Bit of a downer because of the way the work is, you know. There's nothing else to follow after this, so it's just people are looking at it as losing jobs now. That's where the situation is at the minute. 18 months on this project now, and when it goes, we're virtually going down to zero, you know.
It's Sunday, but at the Shields Ferry, everyone's at work.
I don't know what the heck's going on, that's all. I don't know what's going on. Just tell us what to do.
That's what I'm telling you. Put 2 of them here.
Right.
Tie them to the fence.
For the Great North Run.
Oh, massive, massive for us. We'll get about 10,000 passengers on the ferry today. It's a huge day for us, busiest day of the year.
Few butterflies, nervousness, but not stress.
It's the world's biggest half marathon, starting in Newcastle and ending here in South Shields.
So these are obviously the people going for to watch the runners come in at the finish line.
There'll be 50,000 runners and their families needing to get home afterwards. Many choose the ferry. Normally, the problem for ferry manager Carol Timlin is too few passengers.
Too many though, isn't there?
No, not at all. No, more the merrier.
The Great North Run brings much needed revenue, but someone's trying to pinch Carol's customers.
Hiya, I'm the ferry manager, and what we've heard, the guys wouldn't be picking up here. He's been advertising on Facebook.
He's trying to use his fishing boat as an illegal ferry from this jetty nearby.
Could they not just put a padlock between there and there? What we'll do is, when he actually comes, we'll give you a call and come back down, and I think that's going to be the easiest way for dealing with it, isn't it? Be about 1 o'clock.
Problem solved. Now, the calm before the storm. Over in Newcastle, the runners are gathering for the start of the race, including the Port of Tyne team, captained by Paul Ridley, who works on the pilot boat.
At least a pint at Highland Park last night.
Did you?
Yeah, it was my wedding party.
Oh, no.
I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. I thought I'd already done the race. I was going to go and check my time on the internet. Good luck, everybody. Good luck, everybody. Everybody in. Group hug.
We can do it.
Do well, everybody. Training's all done. Today's the easy bit. See you all at the end.
Go in. In there.
Where?
In there, here's
Right.
what.
Aye.
Up.
Oh, wait a minute. What do you want us to do? I'm getting on, you know. Up a bit.
Aye.
Yeah, that's it.
You can tell how long it's going to be before it gets busy. By the time the public get to the end of the finish line, it's normally about 20 minutes, half an hour later after Mo Farah. That's what I think. How long do you think it is? Before the rest of the public gets to the finishing line after Mo Farah crosses. If he crosses, quarter of an hour.
The runners are well on their way to South Shields, and their families are on their way to meet them at the finish. Mo Farah wins, but there's another race on. One man's personal challenge to be the first runner back on the ferry.
It's a tradition now that he makes a race back for the ferry, so he's always first back. You did it again, eh?
How you doing?
Good.
I always come to see my old pal. I only see him once a year, and that's when I finish a Great North Run.
Third or fourth time now, I think it is, isn't it? Excellent, well done.
Thousands have now crossed the finish line.
Hiya, Paul.
Hi.
How was it?
Hard. Very hot. Great. It's over now, eh? Well done. Well done. What time you get?
43. Very welcome.
Well done yourself. 220.
Provided. Just some information for you. There are toilets.
232. How much? 232.
More than 3 hours since the race started, and the ferry queue's building. The two boats are flat out, going back and forth.
Well, you close the gate behind them and I'll let the 250 in, then get them the other side of the gate. It's a bit like herding sheep. We're putting them all in pens and then sending one pen down at a time for the right numbers for to get on the boat.
The queue stretches hundreds of metres. It's about to get even longer. Word is, there's a big delay on the metro train system.
There's a power outage between the lines, really, down to South Shields. They say they've got 7 trains waiting there, but they can't get past. So you've got about 10,000 people stood in the queue looking pretty annoyed.
That'd be a nightmare, that.
There's no metros because one's broken down, which I can understand something breaks down, but there's no information being given out. The queue's stretching now down South Shields.
Passengers who'd normally get the train home are coming here instead.
Okay, if you can just wait here, please.
So if you're standing there, you've got to stop them, physically stop them.
The runners are having to wait for up to 2 hours, so the staff turn on the charm.
Oh, hello, darling, you all right?
That's not neat enough. Come on, sort yourselves out, you lot. Not as though you have been doing anything all day.
Oh, have you got a medal? Daddy got it, did he? Did you clap really hard when he came over the line? Yeah, did you cheer?
You look just like Sting.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Get away. I was thinking more like Bobby Davro, yeah.
It's been a 12-hour shift, but worth it. There's been a record number of passengers. But one tired runner won't have to wait.
Special treat. I'm getting a lift in the pilot boat across. Perks of the job. Right. Makes you feel a bit like James Bond, doesn't it, getting on that? That's great. Cheers, Jeff.
Martin goes undercover and Gillian conducts a foxy experiment. We join the Autumn Watch gang along with Chris and Michaela tonight at 8 here on BBC Two. On the way next, though, celebrating the musical heritage of Manchester with Flog It.
Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. BBC4 finds inner peace with retreat, meditations from a monastery, starting tonight.